What's going on YouTube? A Delicious Mango here. Today's video was actually recorded live from my Twitch channel. If you guys want to check out my Twitch for more Apex Legends ranked gameplay, tips, and my push for Apex Predator, you can hit the link in the top of the description. Would love to have you guys over there. Without further ado, let's get into it. The Season 20 Legend tier list for Apex Legends. Let's get into it. So, there's only two characters in this entire game that I think are not very good. And unfortunately, they haven't been very good for a little while now. And those characters actually are Ballistic and Seer. I think Ballistic and Seer, unfortunately, are just not really good at anything that they do. Seer, his abilities, in theory, are really, really good still. But it all has to do with his tactical actually hitting someone. And his tactical closes so slowly that you just don't ever actually get anyone in the ability. He obviously was the king of the game and got nerfed super hard, and that's fine. Ballistic, on the other hand, was never that good. And he's gotten a little bit of a buff, but his perks aren't that great. I mean, his bullet is fine. And his ultimate got a little bit of a buff where it's easier to get your teammates in it. But it doesn't really give you a whole lot more utility than any of the other offensive fighting legends. It actually gives you less. It just means you do what you normally do better. It's very vanilla gameplay. It doesn't give you anything new or interesting. So unfortunately, Ballistic and Seer, those are my only F tier characters. So the characters I have in C tier in no particular order are Lifeline, Mirage, Gibby, Vantage, where's Vantage? Rampart, and Octane. So these are the characters I think are all C tier. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. All of them are fine. All of them are pretty good, and they're all serviceable. In a good player's hands, all of these characters can be great. But in ranked right now, they just aren't as good as some of the other options. Lifeline is just not your best support character by any stretch. She's not even the best reviver, and it's good to get a care package weapon, but it's fine. Mirage, I think, is great if you're a really, really, really good player. But if you're not a good player, Mirage just doesn't offer you that much. Gibby is pretty good. I actually do think if I'm rating anyone in this class a little bit too low, it might be Gibby. But I just think he's the worst support. He's the worst big guy, and he's one of the worst support legends, so I'm putting him down in C tier. Vantage, I think Vantage honestly kind of just suffers from a hitbox problem, because I see Vantage and I think, oh, there's a Caustic on that team, and she's just huge and doesn't have fortified, so she's really easy to hit, and her bat's kind of weird. Her sniper's amazing, though. Sniper is amazing. Rampart, I like Rampart. Might even play some Rampart today. But I just think she's the worst controller legend. And I think that there's a clear hierarchy amongst the controller legends. So for that, she's going to go in C tier. And then Octane is just Octane. You know, jump pad's cool. Woo! It's really fun. Probably the most fun character in the game. But does he do that much for your team? Or does he do anything better for your team than any other skirmisher? I don't think so. Probably not. No. So that's the C tier. Those 6. B tier. B tier is my biggest tier. This is where the meat of the legends end up. And honestly, I think that some of these characters could be as high as A tier. Maybe a couple are C tier, but I think that B, this is like the true average in Apex right now. Which again, every character is really, really valuable at the moment, but these are just kind of middle of the pack. So I've got Ash, I've got Catalyst, I got Crypto, I've got Newcastle in here, I've got Wraith, Fuse, and Valkyrie. Fuse and Valkyrie. So that's my B tier. Again, no particular order. In fact, if I were to order them, I might put Fuse all the way over at the top and maybe Valkyrie pretty close as well. But all these characters are fine. I mean, they got some good perks, some of them better than others. I think Fuse could be one that I'm underrating. Valkyrie, now she can get her ultimate off at any time. Like, you're never stuck with Valkyrie on your team, because her ultimate goes higher, and there's no charge rifles to really beam you out of the sky as you're flying up, so it's really easy. You pretty much always get the Valk ult off. But these characters are overall decent. Newcastle, I mean, he's great for revives. He can turn the tide of the game for sure, but just not as good as some of your other supports. Wraith is Wraith. A great player could play the crap out of Wraith and be excellent. Crypto got some buffs. I actually think Crypto moved up with the perks. I think the ability to get a faster EMP and a bigger EMP is really nice, but just not as active as some of the other ones. Catalyst got Omega nerfed, so she went from S tier all the way down to B tier, in my opinion. Even her perks that upgrade the length of her wall or how many spikes you can throw doesn't even get her back to what she was before she got nerfed. Like, I think her wall got nerfed by like 15 seconds, and her perk gives you an extra 5 seconds. So it's like, she just got crazy nerfed. So Catalyst, she took a big hit. And Ash is pretty good. I mean, the snares are nice, but her portal's just, again, not that great. Then we get to A tier and S tier. These are the characters that I believe are truly the top 10 in the game. I actually don't really think it's close. Now, this is for ranked. I feel really confident that these are the top 10 for ranked specifically. In competitive, it might be a little bit different. This is a ranked specific tier list. But I think that these 10 have kind of separated themselves so far as the best characters. And some characters could go up or down between A and S. I think my S is pretty set and my A is pretty set, but we'll go ahead and show you here. So at the top, I've got Maggie. She's the one I think is closest to S tier. Then Pathfinder. After Pathfinder, I've got Horizon. Then I put Wattson. And then at the bottom of A tier, I put Loba. So Loba, the only reason she's this high, I don't think many of her perks are that good. But in ranked, the fact that you can craft banners and she's the only support character with movement makes it so that your game is never truly dead. If you have to run away, and I hate having to say run away as a theory in ranked, but sometimes on Olympus you get third, fourth, fifth partied and you need to run away and craft banners. She's the best at that, and she's the easiest way to help your team. Her movement got a lot better, so she's the bottom of A tier for me. If you wanted to switch Fuse and Loba, I wouldn't hate you for it. Wattson, I think, is clearly the second best controller. She is probably the best at being a defensive controller character. If you want to hold a spot, I think she's fantastic right now. Horizon is still great. Her ultimate is still fantastic. Her perks just aren't any good. Her perks are all just like, hey, get your stuff a little bit faster, or hey, like, see this grenade in a box or whatever. Like, not great. Pathfinder, he's just, if you're a great player, Pathfinder remains great and excellent, and he can do things no one else can. And Maggie is the character I think maybe could be S tier. Perhaps she'll get S tier as the season goes on. But because shotguns really aren't super meta right now, you don't really use her like fast movement passive all that much. But her abilities are fantastic. She got some great perks with the drills and with the wrecking ball. So I think Maggie is arguably one of the best fighting characters right now. That's why she's at the top of A tier for me, but not quite S tier. S tier. These are the top 5 legends in ranked right now. If you go and look at Apex Legends status and you go check the top 15 preds in the world, these are the characters they're running. And it's without a doubt the best 5 right now. From the very top, I'll put Revenant. They uber nerfed Horizon and made her a lot worse right after putting the most insane fighting character in history in the game in Revenant. The fact that Revenant can just jump in with a full overshield, take a ton of damage, get a knock, and then immediately get 75 health back and just keep fighting is crazy. This character is nuts. This character absolutely carries fights. He's good for 1 or 2 knocks a fight. Revenant's just amazing. He's so good. I hate fighting against Revenants. It makes you run a weapon that does a lot of damage per magazine just so you can hopefully one-clip him because he's got so much health. And you better not go down, or you better not hope one of your teammates goes down, because then he gets that health back. He's by far the best fighting character in the game right now, and it's nuts. It's not even close. Bangalore, still really good, in my opinion. There's no digis anymore. On one hand, that makes her worse because she can't use SMGs to shoot through the smoke. On the other hand, it makes her smokes better for defensive purposes and for rotation purposes. So she kind of didn't get much of a change at all. Her perks, though, are outstanding. She gets her ultimate 60 seconds faster with one of her perks. And the other perk, some people are talking about the health regen and smoke, but that's not the good one. The good one is auto-pinging people that activate your double time. That's crazy because it's a massive ping on the map that all of your teammates can see, and it tracks for a few seconds. So that's like having like wall hacks in smoke. So if someone shoots you through the smoke, all of a sudden they've got this big ping on them. It's crazy. I don't know how that got in the game, but it's nuts. That's the best. It's one of the best perks in the entire game, in my opinion. So she's easily S tier. Immediately after that is Bloodhound. He's the best recon character. His ult is great. His scans are simple, really easy to see. The ability to scan people beacons is outstanding. Bloodhound's just an all-around good character. You can't go wrong with having a Bloodhound on your team. He's not too big, so he doesn't suffer from a bad hitbox. His ultimate gives him that speed boost, so he's got a little bit of movement in that situation, but he's just a great character. Conduit, still the best support character. I can't count how many times I have been in a fight and someone got queued after I hit them for a ton of health, and then I go and re-challenge them, and they've got like half their shield back, and I wasn't expecting it, and now I die. Because Conduit is just so good at getting people healthy again. She's the best support character. And then finally, very surprising, Caustic. Now for ranked, Caustic is outstanding. I think really what a lot of it is that he's good at kind of preventing people from third-partying you by having those gas traps, making it really difficult to fight against. There's less digis, so it's harder for people to see through your gas, and you have that Nox vision. But also, this is a little bit of kind of like playing the system, kind of. Assist timers in this game right now are really high. I think it's like 20 seconds or something like that. So if you hit someone with any amount of damage, for 20 seconds later, if they eventually get knocked, you get the KP. All they got to do is run into one gas trap and you're going to get the KP. I think Caustic is the easiest character to get kill points with in this game right now because they run into one barrel or you throw one gas grenade and take them one time. And for the entire rest of the fight, you just know you're going to get an assist. So he's good for scanning the rings. He's good for holding down buildings if you need it. He's also the best offensive controller with that gas grenade. Somehow he made it up into S tier. I don't know if that'll stay, but he's amazing right now and he's getting a ton of play. Just look at the top of Apex Legends status. And that's it. This is my Apex Legends tier list for right now. This is for ranked specifically, not for competitive. Let me know what you guys think. Chat and down in the comments. We recorded this live on Twitch, so if you guys are watching this on YouTube later, would appreciate if you guys went and checked out the Twitch. And I appreciate you all so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.